corporal punishment right now.
Yeah.
And that was just.
Yeah.
Did there used to be a swimming pool on 18th or on 21st or something?
Yeah, for angles only.
Oh, really?
Wasn't it? For angles?
On the 18th, right?
Yeah.
On 18th Street, there was a swimming pool.
It was a Mexican town and no Mexicans allowed.
But where was this? 18th and what?
19th, between 18th and 19th Street. They on Champion, where that where the railroad track used to go, once over the curb, that's where that swimming pool was, between Champion and Faith. Yeah, very nice place, very nice place. I could never understand it. I says, why in the hell would them stupid SOB Anglos built a swimming pool in
In the neighborhood.
Yeah, I guess that's to piss everybody off. I don't know. Or pride that we can do it. You guys are worthless. And then they had another one. ¿Cómo se llama? Blue Waters or something in McAllen, Texas. I remember that they wanted us to leave that place, in just shorts and steal our clothes. And we made a little bit of a noise and we got our clothes back.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Then you have to do
And we used a lot of French and German and Italian languages that cannot be repeated in English or Spanish.
And they had a slide, that we would slide down,
like
get on top of
like Schlitterbahn.
and then slide down. And we love that splash.
So did you graduate from high school, Tia?
Yeah.
You did. From Edinburgh, what year?
Well, I don't recall. I don't recall what year, but
Do you remember how old you were?
huh?
Do you remember how old you were?
Must have been 18 because some graded it younger than that. Let's see, what was it? I think Mom, or we had to go to Washington, Seattle, and with one of my aunts and uncles.
Nunca fueron a Seattle, ¿no? You never got to Seattle.
Well,
Yakima or what was it, Walla Walla?
Yakima. Well, we went to Yakima, Washington, or something like that. And I remember that they would pick grapes.
If you had gone to Seattle, you would have never met the guy that you married. You would have made a lot of money in Seattle.
And they chose us to kind of make sure that in the peasant thing, that banda, what was it called? That express thing,
Yes.
where just make sure that no branches were in the
So you were inspecting the grapes?
Mass, what they call it? Mass
inspecting,
something.
inspecting,
It was
inspecting the
brand new at that
grapes.
particular time probably. Because it came into being during World War II. The mass, what they call mass production.
Yes.
And it's shift, speedy production.
Yeah.
How did you two meet? How did you two meet?
I worked during the summertime with a Syrian friend of my dad, and my I don't know, 14 or 15 years I was a little wild. So this Syrian friend of my dad, he said, "Hey," he says, "I've talked to your son. He looks like a smart kid." He says, "Why don't you let me hire him during the summer, this coming summer?" So my dad said, "Well, since we're friends, I'm going to let you work him, teach him everything you know about sales and stuff, but I don't want you to pay him a damn penny." So he said, yeah, sure, no problem. I don't have any problem with that. Hey, that's 100% profit. And then Concha, her aunt, worked there. So we got to be very, very good friends, you know. And we ¿cómo se dice? I watched her back, and she watched mine, you know. We're always protective of each other.
She was the cause. She was the cause of us.
She was the matchmaker?
She was the matchmaker.
Yeah, she was the matchmaker.
And she was she was took us to the movies, to theater, and then it says, as soon as he would sometimes he's outside sweeping, and then he says, oh my goodness, then no, he's not there. So she would give another round. so when and I remember he was skinny.
Yeah. 110 pounds soaking wet.
Bony knees.
They
Really
used me,
careful.
on the football team in high school, they used me as a target.
And I said, oh no, let's go to the movies because they're gonna close. We want to see the beginning. So then she would take us, but she would not unless he sometimes he's sweeping out there, and but she wouldn't take us until he make sure that we saw Gilbert.
You know, I spent at least twice a week at her grandfather's house. Way years before that we met, because my dad and her grandfather were very good friends. And there was their night of camaraderie and all that stuff. And you know,
So you already knew her?
I never knew her.
Oh, you didn't know her.
No. I met her right after I got back from Korea. That's when I met her through the queen of the matchmakers, my sister.
I remember that I was working at Piggly Wiggly's.
If my sister had met or had known or gotten to be friendly with Concha, we probably would have been married at 15 or 16 years old.
and then she would say, no, I'm gonna make it another round until when he's sweeping up there, you'll see him. Oh, we wanted to go to the movies. Well, until he's out.
She wanted you to see him.
Huh?
She wanted you to see him.
Meet him.
Yeah.
Meet me.
Yeah.
And when they moved to Chicago, she didn't know that I had married the same one that she wanted me to.
Really?
Because the queen of the matchmaker had made it possible.
That's so funny.
That was odd.
Your great grandfather made the tombstone for my mother.
Oh yeah.
She made the tombstone for one of my uncles.
At Fannie?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Well, yeah. It was a little base. You know, the mold. It was about so tall and so wide. And then I didn't know who it was, but then. Granddad said, well, just fill in the right in this case. So I filled it out, and I didn't know who it was.
Yeah.
Who it was. So it turned out that it was his mom's.
No, we do it together.
Tombstone.
Yeah.
I had no intention of marrying.
Yeah.
I never had any girlfriends or anything. I had very good girlfriends, not girlfriends, but girlfriends. Friends, because I spent 8 years in the Catholic school in Sacred Heart, and it was 7 of us that we were handpicked by the bishop or provincial or whatever. So they kept eyeballing us 7. And of the 7, only 2 of us finally made it. And the Oblates of Mary Immaculate, they approved. They
Did you hurt your eye?
They
Everybody with their condition.
they more or less approved me at the Oblate Seminary, and they said I was ready to go. So what I did, I sidestepped that and went into public school, and I was very, very troubled because I was, from 8 years of a different environment through the public school system.
It was an adjustment.
I never actually adjusted. In fact, I left there because I had a lot of outside pressure for me to go into the seminary and not finish public school, but finish in the seminary. So that was during the Korean War. So what I did, I said, well, to hell with both sides, and I went and volunteered in the Marine Corps. I was 17 years old. So, I volunteered from day one. I volunteered for Korea. The Marine Corps sent me to school. I still volunteered for Korea. then went through all the military combat training and cold weather training and the whole bit. And I still kept on volunteering my name. But what I didn't realize was that my brother was in Korea. And at that time, this was a beautiful United States of America, that they respected that if you had one family member in a combat zone, they would not allow a second, like a brother, to go in. I didn't know that. And, I was, dumb and stupid at 17 years old. I wanted to, hey, I'm gonna beat the pants off them damn North Koreans, and I'm gonna win the war by myself, So they put me on a ship, went through from San Francisco into Sasebo, Korea. So what they did right there, I made a lot of enemies because they singled me out. You're not going to stay here. You're not going to debark here. You're going to stay on the ship. And that hate and that jealousy took me into Japan. And in Japan, what they did, they hid all my clothing for 3 months.
Really?
Yeah. And there was nothing I could do about that because I never hit me that they had done that intentionally.
Oh.
Because they figured, well, this Mexican, he should not be. He's a damn coward. Why didn't he go to the damn front lines to fight? With the rest of the guys. What these guys didn't know was politics. Interfered with that because the politicians at that time were good politicians, and they would not allow a brother to go to a combat zone with another brother in the same combat area.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why I escaped. And thank God that my brother, made it back home safe.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that. I didn't realize this until years later. What had happened. And after this, what they did, they sent me to the occupation period of Japan. And so I said, I'm not going to go back to Edinburgh. I said, look, there's that damn coward. He didn't want to go fight in Korea. So what I did, I spent 3.5 years in Japan until I said, maybe. And then by that time, the armistice was signed and all that.
Yeah.
And then I came back and, hey, these guys, looked at me. That's a former Marine, man. Mm-hmm. Everybody wanted to hire me. This guy's a former Marine. And after several months of doing odd jobs and stuff, this Fortune 500 company. Through one of Fannie's friends, he contacted me. Then one of a company competitor of his needed a job, and he was the next W-2 vet. So he says, "Hey," he says, "your husband, what was it? We were married then? Yeah, we were married then." So he says, "Your husband is the next Marine." He says he shouldn't have any problem getting with that company. I mean, almost with almost no interview. They hired me.
Wow.
They trained me, and I found out that about the first 6-7 months, there were nothing but ex-Marines in that company.
Oh.
In fact, I joined an outfit. There was only one merchant Marine man, and all the rest of us were ex-Marines. And that was really something.
Yeah.
And I spent 31 years with her.
Yeah.
But because it was very, very difficult for a Hispanic to join a Fortune 500 company in that time. Very difficult.
And which company was it, Theo?
American Brands. And I was the only Hispanic for several years.
Yeah.
In my era, in my area.
Yeah.
Most of the Hispanics, but them guys, I mean, they were Einsteins, walking Einsteins. And I said, hey, now me? Why? I was so suspicious for 2-3 years. I said, these guys are leading me on. They're setting me up for something, man. I know they're going to set me up for the kill, and they're going to do something. but it was really something. Very, very unusual situations. And throughout our entire life, situations have come on, where we have, through our faith, we have been very fortunate that we have met beautiful Christian people. We have a lot of religious men and women, which are very, very good friends of ours in different parts of the different countries. And we were privileged to serve with a lot of retreats, young men's and young women's retreats. And these kids were young teens, and then college kids. And then we made the Cursillo. So that opened up all kinds of different doors for both of us. Unfortunately, the tragedy that happened to us, we will never understand. We will never know, why it happened or how it happened.
Right. Yeah.
But I'm still against all the damn Republicans because they are NRA, 100% NRA. And in my era, our dads would buy us one rifle, one bullet, take us out to the field. After so many practices and this and that and the other, no matter how old you were, you only had one bullet to shoot, and they would tell you what to shoot, what was your target. And with that same damn gun, with that same fusil, ¿cómo se llama en English? What's a fusil? Shotgun. With that same damn shotgun that I taught our son, that's the one that he used. He sawed it off.
Yeah.
He sawed it off. And there was not one mark. In fact, your mother, she shook him up while he was laying down in the casket. He says, you and your jokes. He says, you're not dead, you're asleep. She shook him up. And I said, Connie, get away from there. Get away from there.
Yeah.
He's passed on.
Yeah.
He says, he has no signs or anything. I said, well, he was a tremendous, not because I say it, but because he was who's who in the book of JDs, of all colleges and universities across the United States of America.
Yeah.
I said, he had some kind of brain, he
Yeah.
had some kind of mind. I said, he was all for justice and pure justice.
Yeah.
No camaraderie, no corrupted stuff, you know. And I had this compadre then that he said that he was going to give me $50,000 to find out that he was murdered. I said, compadre, I says, I appreciate that, but I don't want that.
Yeah.
My company also wanted to do something about it. I said, no. I says, he would never accept something like that.
Yeah.
Because he did it on his own. I said, I'm not going to tell you how or why,
Yeah.
but I know he did it on his own.
Yeah.
And that was it, you know. But he'd been on Judge, what is his name? The hanging judge from San Antonio, John Woods. They called him the hanging judge.
Yeah.
He was on the trial. He was a co-prosecutor on a trial of Woody Harrelson. His
The
dad.
father. Yes.
His dad was the one that killed John Woods.
Yes. Yes.
So Gil was on. He was a co-prosecutor on his trial. So so they got this guy, and to make things complicated for me, John Woods had prosecuted brothers and kinfolk of this very good friend of mine, who was a customer of mine in my company. He was a Syrian, very good friend of mine. And I said, oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah.
If this guy ever finds out, we're going to lose all his business.
Yeah.
Multi-millionaire from El Paso. But it just, mellowed in. And then the second worst case that Gil worked on, this Joe Torres. I think he was from either Mercedes or Westlaco. This guy followed this guy from the island, and he shot him in the face and killed him dead in Los Prestos. So he kept on going, and then a DPS pulled him over, and he shot that DPS. So Gil was also a co-prosecutor on that case also. And in fact, he took Anna to his trial because they changed the venue. They moved it to Edinburgh because they tried. I mean, this guy was a wild man. He had hate and hate on tattooed all over his body. And Gil said that he turned into an animal and a devil. That they couldn't restrain him. So when they got to Edinburgh, Anna said that she wanted to. How could she get into the courtroom? So Gil said, he says, you're gonna be. I'm gonna get you in. So he gave Anna a couple of those lead gloves. He says, you can take mine. And the judge was packing. That's how bad that guy was. Everybody, in other words, Gil didn't want to pack. He said, just give me the damn lead gloves. And then he gave them to Anna. He said, you take them. He said, I'll can defend myself. And they got him the death penalty. The guy, 15 years. It took, appeals and appeals and appeals and appeals until they finally killed him. So several people called me up, to say, are you happy now? I said, happy about what? He says that your son worked on that case, and now the guy's dead.
Yeah.
I says, hey, what happened? I says, the Justice Department works in different ways. So it happened. But I'm not going to be. Why should I be happy about killing, taking a life? I says, I was pissed off at this guy killing two officers, two law enforcement officers, within 30 minutes of each other. I says, of course I was. I said, so was my son. But I mean, they were a good team, a good prosecuting team. But it just happened the way, some technicality, some very stupid little technicality, and then so delay, appeals. And but he finally got his due. You know, but that's the way it happens.
Yeah.
Justice sometimes works in very mysterious and stupid ways. And even though the evidence is there, but somehow or other, you know, it's hard to. I don't know. It's very hard to understand that stuff. Like I always told the young kids that wanted to go into law, you know, that Gil had inspired for them to go to law. I said, well, if you go into law, if you really go into law, you're going to have to study it and study it. But study not only the books, but study the people that are in it. You know, because, you know, the judges are political pawns sometimes.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's not up to the jury, because as you know very well, that some judges overturn juries.
Yeah, yeah,
And that's very hard to understand.
yeah.
Very hard to understand. Yeah. But it's I don't know. It's very sad sometimes,
Yeah,
because you know put yourself in somebody else's shoes on the other side.
that's true. Yeah,
Yeah. And that's where a lot of murders come up.
yeah,
Revenge.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Especially today.
Gotta be up and down no matter what.
All right. Well, thank you guys. I'm gonna wrap this up right